Now, in the beginning of the chapter, we saw Lucy hugging Natsu. Thankfully, he's alright after defeating Alderaan, but we're actually going to see the aftermath of the battle right now, which the Guildmaster of Magill Dragon actually saw Alderaan had been sealed, and he actually say that wizards have grown strong over 100 years. So he actually is happy that he is been sealed. So that's two god dragons being sealed as well. But Ignelia actually told Natsu good job. But he actually is anxious of seeing him fighting him again. But at Black Moon Mountain, we saw Celine actually heard about Alderaan actually being sealed, as well as the White Wizard's magic. But she actually said that she will take over the world. But back at Diabolos, we actually heard that the master heard about their failure, which they actually knew that Nobra and Raph had been killed, by which they actually knew they ran away. But Skuldrun and the others actually told their master about Fairy Tale, in which they actually knew that they actually go up against them as well. But their master told them that their next target is Celine, which they actually go over to her and actually killing her as well. But to make sure there won't be any more screw ups, he is also sending Suzaku as well with them, in which we actually knew how powerful he is. And he's actually one of the Black Dragon Slayer Knights, which he is called Suzaku the Red Dragon, in which we actually going to see how well he is, as he is the strongest Dragon Slayer in the guild. Meanwhile, back at the village, we actually saw how there are a few miles to a place called Draxiel, which they actually knew about a city called Dramil, in which the building that was built for the government to monitor Alderaan, and after he destroyed the entire army, they actually show up, in which we actually heard from Lucy they left pretending not to know anything that actually happened, but the but Magroff and the other guild members are actually are excited to go sightseeing, but they actually cannot remember how they were actually was taken over by Toka, in which they actually knew about them going to 100-year crest. But they actually asking about Toka because she's actually falling asleep, as well as the cat version of Toka as well, as which she haven't recovered her magic, but she actually is falling asleep, which we actually knew that the white wizard actually was inside of her while she was able to transform into a human and then transform into a cat, which Carla actually said that she was an Exceed to begin with, which she actually not an Exceed from Extelia, but they actually are sure that she actually won't waken up. But they decided that they actually celebrate a victory well done, which they actually are having a banquet to actually celebrate a job well done on defeating Alderaan, which everybody actually knew a funny moments that actually happened, but we actually knew how exciting a banquet is. Plus, we actually see a love couple actually are actually together, which we saw Ursa talking to Jalal about the battle that actually happened, which except for the part where she doesn't actually wanting him to know about the other one because he was controlled by Toka. But we actually knew that he won't allow himself to be beating himself up. But we actually going to see him going over to reflect his past, which we actually heard him say is thanks to her, which she can love people freely, in which he actually decided to hug Ursa as well. Now, we actually knew that the Fairy Tale members are having a banquet with Natsu and the others for defeating Alderaan. So we actually knew that two of the dragon gods have been sealed, which including Merfolvia and Alderaan. So their next target is Selene, which Diabolos is actually headed there as well. But their master is also sending another member with them to make sure there won't be any mess ups, which his name is Suzaku, also known as the Red Dragon. And he's actually one of the Black Dragon Slayer Knights. So we're actually going to see what's going to happen on the next chapter the week after next week. So anyway, like this video, subscribe for more, and comment what you think about the manga chapter. You guys can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, and my Facebook page. Until then, this anime guy joining here saying signing out. Laters, and be safe.